Greetings, friends and enemies. Welcome back to Art by Flan. First off, you'll have to pardon my voice. I'm having a bit of a cold, so this whole video will sound really funky, but I wanted to get this done and get this out because coming up soon is my 2-year anniversary here on YouTube. And to celebrate, I am going to be doing a special little tour of my workstation and my room as a whole to give you guys an idea of what goes on behind the scenes. So we're going to start with my desk here. As you can see in the opening shot, this is sort of my setup. I'm recording with my phone because my vlogging camera is not the best in my room lighting. So first up, we have a little Doctor Who mug. Here I keep all sorts of junk. I have rulers and scissors and a nail file, which is really important for me. A little sonic screwdriver to complete the whole set there. And just pencils with the cute little Alola starters that I got from a box of Pokemon cards. To the right of that, I just have a squishy of a cinnamon roll, but I call it my sweet roll because I really love Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls. And behind that, I have a lint roller because I also have dogs. To the left of that, we have my pen bucket. In here, we have all of my pens, some extra colored pencils to some color erase pencils, but we have microns, we have Copic multi-liners, we've got, oh here it is, we've got Faber-Castell, and I got a couple of jelly rollers in here, and just all sorts of pens that I use for lining. I think I have a backup Uniball Signo too, which I need to take with me. But just all sorts of different pens and stuff go in the Sugar Skull pen bucket. Next to that, we have my microphone, which is going to kick the bucket soon. I just know it. But next to that is my microphone. It is a blue snowball in the color white. Relatively affordable, but usually great sound quality, unless it's mine and you've dropped it 3 or 4 times. Behind that, we've got my boom arm. It is what holds my webcam. As you can see here, my webcam is a Logitech C920. It's fairly good. I'm pretty impressed with it. You'll have to figure the focus of my phone. So if you're wondering what I use to record like traditional videos and sketchbook tours, that's it. To the left of the microphone, we have some Tootsie Roll containers. And these are, I don't know if any of you guys ever got these, but for a long time my mom got me these. Well, she still does actually. These little, like, they're banks, but they come filled with like little Tootsie Rolls. And so when you eat them, you have the bank. But instead of Tootsie Rolls or money in here, I keep 0.5 lead. This is all the 0.5 lead I've had for quite a few years, actually. This is a collection that I've just had forever, so I don't need to buy lead. I think there's some coins in there, too. Next to that, we have another one of those, but this one is just paintbrushes. So brushes that I use when I dabble in watercolor or gouache, and I have my Pentel Aquash in here, and then just cheap practice brushes from Michaels. So nothing fancy there. Over here we have this set of drawers. On top of there, excuse me, we have my light, which it has this like napkins on them to diffuse the light. Next to that, we got some junk. In my set of drawers here, we just have a bunch of garbage. We have some washi tape, some double-sided tape back here. Here's a little Sumiko Garashi schedule book I bought like a couple years ago, but it's just too cute to throw away. In this drawer, we just have more junk, sticky notes, checkbook, various dongles for the computer, some 3DS games back there, I think. No, close again. And down here we have things like my smudge guard, a tape measure, and this little booklet has ticket stubs in it. The moleskin was a poor choice because it just bulges out and takes up a bunch of space, but that just has a bunch of ticket stubs that I've collected over the years. Next to that, we have my planner. We have a print from AG Scribbles that I haven't gotten a frame for, and that's coming apart. And then just a notepad for scribbling things. It's got the Alolan starters. And then next to that, we have headache medicine and my headset, which is attached to my PC, which we'll be going over next. So over here, we have my PC. It is a custom build from iBuyPower. It's about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old at this point, and it's just a little workhorse. I love the guy. I call him Jarvis because when I got him, he was like the superest, fanciest computer I've ever had in my life. But I love him, and I'd hate to see anything happen to him. The only part I had to replace is a couple of SATA cables, the video card, which got damaged in my move to North Dakota, where I'm at now. But that was a free replace, and just some hard drives, which I bought for more space. The sticky note on here is just skins from a recent event on Overwatch. On top, we have a plushie of Anubis that I got at the Minnesota Science Museum, or is it the Minneapolis Science Museum? Anyway, it's a science museum over in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and I have my SH Figure Arts Body Coon sitting on top, keeping him company. Like I said, on the side here, we have my headset for when I play like Overwatch and online gaming. It is a Logitech G430, and you'll notice I have a lot of Logitech products. This was not intentional, it just sort of ended up that way. So moving on, we have my tablet. This is a Wacom Cintiq 12WX. It is old in terms of Wacom. You probably can't buy it from their store anymore. You have to go third party. As you can see, the screen is it's a graphics tablet with a screen, so I can draw on the screen, but the outline is really big and bulky, and it's just a big bulky piece of equipment that takes up a lot of space in terms of wires and stuff. So I mean, it's a good solid workhorse. It's lasted me for a long time, but would I necessarily recommend it now? Probably not. Moving on to that, we have my generic monitor, nothing special here, and you notice I have Mercy just about everywhere. Down here, we have my keyboard, which is a Logitech G105. It's good for gaming. It's got a lot of keys for macros and stuff like that. What I'm pulling up here is my gamepad, which I use for like Overwatch, and I also use it for Photoshop when I don't want to reach behind the tablet because I sit it right here next to my gross arm pad. I'll reach around and just use hotkeys that I've set up on my gamepad. And I think I got this idea from Joysan, who's done that as well. And then over here is my mouse, also again for gaming. It is a Logitech, this one's a G502. I really like this mouse because it's, you can shift the weight of it. I got used to a really heavy mouse, so I don't like lighter mice anymore. And this one comes with weights you can put in it to adjust it to how you like the feel of a mouse. And then next to my monitor here, I have my two favorite gals. I have a little Sailor Moon cute Posket figure, and I have my Mercy Nendroid, which I love so much. Next we'll be taking a look up at what's above my computer. So above my PC, we have my bulletin board, which is, I don't keep anything important on it, well, like important on this. It's just a bunch of pictures of me and my roommate Brooke. That was from 2016. This is from 2017. We haven't done anything from 2018. I also have just a bunch of like stickers, some motivational Overwatch support, since that's what I made. This Doodle of Maya I really liked. All these stickers over here are from Wacom SAI on Twitter and stuff. It's just all the Overwatch girls. And then I have like a picture of me from, I don't know, like 7th grade or something. This letter from my mom really means a lot to me. She wrote it to me when I moved away from my hometown. A pamphlet from when I went to Disney World a couple 100 years ago. Down here we have feminism button, a pin of Edie from Fallout New Vegas, or Eddie, this Mercy meme, and just some miscellaneous stuff I wanted to keep. Some old keys. This is from when I worked at Blockbuster. So these are the keys to the building and stuff. They changed the locks, but I just ended up with the keys. And of course, a sexy Loki. Around it, we have a bunch of prints. These were all bought from a local anime con. I can't remember the artists. So if any of you guys see any of this and it's familiar, let me know so I can properly credit them. I probably had, you can't really see this one because of the glare from the window, but I probably have their card somewhere, but I don't know off the top of my head. So that's a look at what's above my PC. So this is all kept in my closet, which you can see is open back there. This is where I keep a lot of my art supplies that I keep at home. I'll have another clip of me talking about the art supplies I keep at work, where I do a lot of my traditional art. But here we have my tackle box of sewing supplies, thread, needles, stuff like that. This doesn't like to close like at all. Up front here we have a cup and a plastic palette that I use when I dabble in like wash and watercolor. And then we have some washi tape, some Halloween washi tape, because when Halloween rolled around and then went away, I got a whole bunch of washi tape on sale, and I'm so happy about that. Down here we have a very dusty paper cutter, just a little cheap Recollections one. Under that we have my glue gun, some fabric glue, some yarn, some fixative, some backup Spectrum Noir, which reminds me I need to replace some of those out. And here we have, back there we have some pencil stubs. Keep all my pencil stubs, I don't know why. And back there we have a package with some Copic markers in it. In this thingy here, we have, I'll move it over to my desk here so we can take a look at it. This is what I call my paint bucket. So it was a little like drawing kit, watercolor kit from Daler-Rowney. And I ended up dumping all that out because I got it for like 50 cents or some shit. And using it to store all of my paints and stuff. So if I open this up, on the top here we have a little Winsor & Newton pocket palette. There's not many colors in it. It's not that fancy. I didn't want to buy anything fancy until I got familiar with watercolors. Here's the little watercolor set that came with it. This is actually Daler-Rowney, probably like student grade or something. So I thought it'd be fun to keep that to play around with. And over here was just some watercolor paper that came with the set. Down here we have my Kodotake Gansai Tambi colors, and under that we have a bunch of Reeves gouache. Reeves isn't like the best quality. It dries really chalky, but I'm not that good with gouache, so I'm not terribly concerned about it. So that's the the paint bucket, as I call it, and it goes on the art cart, as I call this, because it keeps all my supplies. And down here at the very bottom we have just miscellaneous paper-shaped stuff. I got an old planner case, some moleskin notebooks I'm not using, a really crappy light pad. It's like Star Wars themed. And under that is some like cardboard and just cardstock. We don't have printer paper, but we have cardstock. So that's the type of life I'm living. So that's a look at what's on my art cart.
So, moving on, this is Future Dana here doing the editing. My apologies for my voice, I'm still pretty sick. But here we're going to take a look at the art supplies I keep at work. So here we have a big sewing basket full of all my Spectrum Noir markers. You can see they're separated by colors. In this pocket we have my Copic grayscale refills, which are the only refills I have. And in the pocket next to it, you can see that's where I keep my grayscale Copics. Again, for the longest time, they were the only ones I had. A little peek at my sharpener back there. In this pocket, we have some pencils, some Color Eno mechanical pencils, and just some colored pencils I don't use. And in this one, we have my Copic skin tones, which I use a lot. So that's where I keep all of my markers when I'm at work. These are what I keep my colored pencils in. The gray one is filled with Prismacolor, and the purplish, reddish one is filled with my polychromos, my Faber-Castell polychromos. And I'll give you a look inside each of those right now. So we're going into the Prismacolor one first, since this one is the biggest. It holds 170 pencils individually, and it has a really complicated fold-out system. Here's a look at my color chart. You can see it's very old and beat up, but it is all filled in with every Prismacolor color. And here's just a look at how, excuse me, like I said, sick. Here's just a look at how it folds up, and you can access all of the different pencils. So this side folds up into kind of a teepee shape, and you can open that, all the way out and get a look in there. And then this side just opens up one way to get to the rest of the pencils. And here you can see I have some of my original Faber-Castell polychromo set in there as well. I bought like a 12 set, fell in love, bought the whole set. Moving on, we'll take a look at the red case. This one's much smaller and holds about 120. In here you can see that the colors are definitely a nicer gradient. That's just Prismacolor doing their thing, but Faber-Castell has a really nice gradient. Here is my color chart for these. It's printed on a piece of cardstock. And this one opens fairly normally, one flap on each side to hold all of the pencils individually, which I really like. A lot of other cases had them like 2 or 3 in one hole, and I didn't like that. And these cases, which I got on Amazon, hold each pencil individually. And moving on, we're going to take a look at the pencil sharpener I use. This is just an X-Acto pencil sharpener. I find electric pencil sharpeners work better for me in terms of colored pencils. It just plugs into the wall, no batteries. And the front comes off for you to empty it out, which I'll show here in a second. I recommend an electric pencil sharpener for colored pencils, as it reduces breakage and gets you a finer point. So that's just a look at how the front comes off, and you can empty it out. And we should be moving back on into the regular commentary now.
So this is just sort of an overall look at my desk. It's an L-shaped desk that I got at Menards, and it just has everything nice and set up. It's not a lot of space, so I have to keep stuff relatively small. And then I have my chair here, which was bought from a furniture store called Home Furniture. And then on the back, I just have my BlizzCon goodie bag that my buddy Todd got me for my birthday. It's just from BlizzCon. It's got all the pads. I really, really love the fact that I got the gold-plated Mercy pen. And I also ended up with, one of it was the Mercy keychain, which I absolutely adore. So, and of course I got Widowmaker, and then there's Orisa. Moving on though, we'll be taking a look at my shelf. The first of many shelves. So up at the top here, we have what I call my Bethesda shelf. If you're wondering why the camera's tilted up, I'm very short. Up at the top here, we have what I call my Bethesda shelf. So it's got my Skyrim special edition Alduin statue, and then the Pip-Boy from the Fallout 4 special edition. And in between, these aren't Bethesda related, but it's just a statue of Bastet, the Egyptian goddess that I don't know, I've had for years. And this little teeny tiny Boston Terrier statue that my buddy Cody got me from a thrift store. Moving on down, we have all of my Fallout Funko Pops. So the little ones, the mystery minis, are from Fallout 4, and I have a couple from Fallout 3. And then I have some more regular Funko Pops of Piper, Dogmeat. I have a statue of the Energy Bobblehead, Codsworth, Paladin Dance, and then I have more of the little mystery minis right there. Behind there, we've got the few DVDs remaining in boxes. I'll show you where the rest are later. But we got the first 4 seasons of Futurama, the first 3 seasons of The Nanny, then the complete set of The Nanny, my Nightmare Before Christmas special edition, my director's cut of Hellboy, the first 5 seasons of Supernatural, every season and movie of Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, don't ask questions, some Sailor Moon, Nightmare Before Christmas, Transformers, and A Corpse Bride. Moving on down, we have what I call my Leviathan shelf. So the first thing not Leviathan related is this narwhal hat. My buddy Chandler got this for me because I love narwhals, and he saw it and thought of me, so it stays on the shelf. We'll take that off here real quick. Over here, we have the plushie of Maya I made. You can definitely see this on my channel. I did a speed sew of it, a time lapse of me making her, and I'm really, really happy with her. Next to that, we have some old, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kid Robot, but they have these things called Munnies, M-U-N-N-Y, and they're figures that are sort of shaped like this, and you could, for a while there, they had custom ones. They're vinyl, you could paint on them, whatever, and make your own custom ones. And so I made customs of Caesar and Lyra, the character I have with my roommate and best friend Brooke. So I made them both, and then I mailed her Lyra, and she had Lyra for a lot of years until we moved in together, and we were able to reunite them. So this is this is Sharpie on vinyl, so that's not coming off at all ever. If you don't like dolls, I'd look away for this next part. Hold on just a moment, my throat's getting a little parched. And this is one of my favorite things. This is my BJD Maya. I modeled it after my character. Her eyes look a little empty. There are eyes in there, but it's just the lighting in my room is too bad to actually see them. They're a bit big for her. So she is a minifee. No, not a minifee. She is an MSD sized from Doll Love. She's a Doll Love Anona. Wig is from somewhere. The outfit, I think... Bullshit, I don't know anything. I don't remember where I got anything. So, the wig is from For My Doll. The outfit is from somewhere else. I can't remember. And then I just made her a little Levi plush to go, to bring her in. It was so funny. The other day, I picked him up out of her arms and his little pants came off. I forgot I made little pants that come off. So, behind there, we have some of my books and my manga. Over here, we've got some mixed paperbacks from the first release of Sailor Moon in the US. We have the Amazing Screw-On Head. We have my favorite issue of Hellboy, which has the mini comic Pancakes, which I love. The Steampunk Transformers, some Doctor Who. These are Adventure Time paperbacks from when they first started doing the comic. This is a Loki Agent of Asgard compilation. This is a Hellboy Companion. These are early release Sailor Moon manga that I've had for literal years. So this is when Mix released them as these books instead of as the paperbacks. So I have a lot of these. They're falling apart. Some of the pages are coming out, and I love them to death. They're my favorite thing. And with Sailor Moon manga, I also have the first issue of the re-release and the first issue of the codenamed Sailor V release. And next to it, I have the 2 issues of the short stories. Besides Sailor Moon, the only other manga I have is right around here. I have the entirety collection of the Princess Ai series. I loved this series. It's not aged well. It was by Courtney Love and some DJ, I think, but the artist is really, really good. I love her work, and it really influenced my style for a long time. But she's not done much else since then. And then next to that, we have some Nightmare Before Christmas manga. I have, if anybody remembers that old show, Zoids, it was on Cartoon Network for a long time. I actually have the first issue of the Chaotic Century manga, which took me forever to find, and I just happened across it in a local bookstore. The Cardcaptor Sakura compilation, which was a gift from a friend. So this is really cool. This is actually an old toy. This is the Book of the Clow from the first Cardcaptor Sakura before they did the re-release. So this was bought in the early 2000s, but you can open it up and all the cards are in here. I've had this for a lot of years. I just refuse to give it up. The only card, there is one card missing, and that's the Cloud, because I gave it to a friend as a sort of inside joke. So I don't have that one, but I have everything else to do with this, and I keep it on the old bookshelf here. Next to that, I have this manga called, well, this comic called Nightmares and Fairy Tales. The artist is FSC. This work, and her work in particular, inspired me a lot in my youth. I still follow her on Instagram, and I still love her stuff. So I have this. I have an old Requiem journal, and next to that, I have my Elder Scrolls anthology, the Elder Scrolls Skyrim from my special edition, Little Big Planet 2, and a copy of Oregon Trail, which I have a long love affair with. Moving on down, we have some books, some regular books, but in front of that we have, you can see my reflection, hello. So this is my ticket and my VIP bracelet from a Gaga concert I went to years ago. So I framed those and I have them. And next to that we have this like lanyard set or whatever that we got with our VIP package that I bought tickets for. Next to that we have my two favorite versions of Harvest Moon 64, which was the first one I ever played, and Harvest Moon Back to Nature, which is one of the best ones I've ever played. Behind that we have a lot of books. I've got a Doctor Who companion, this Dark Materials series, books on Wicca and magic and stuff. Next to that we have all of my, probably not all of them, but a lot of my Greek mythology books, some novels, a French to English dictionary, some more novels from my childhood. Do y'all remember those Dear America books? I have the one on Titanic and the one on Pearl Harbor still. A book on Ronald Dahl, a book on prostitution. This is the first book in the Captive Prince series. I have the other two digitally, but I like to have them physically. Good series. Next to that, I have some how to draw books that I've just kept. This one is an old all-in-all encyclopedia on costumes. It's actually really, really good. Next to this one, I have a book on Versailles that my friend Casey got when she went to France. Let me move this out of the way. I just saw a tweet about this on Twitter. And it's two how to draw manga books. Like, this is pre-Chris Hart how to draw manga, before manga was a big thing. So I have those two that I just keep for fun. Next to that, I think, is a little Kingdom Hearts art book. I got Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the book. This was a really special book to me. Hold on, let me move these out of the way. These are notes. One of them is a note from when I bought my stickers from Vicky Sai. And this is a, like, Mercury print from when I went to see the Sailor Moon R movie in theaters. But, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I could not remember the name of this book for literal years, okay? I only remembered it because I remembered it was about raining food. And I remembered it had the word Frankfurter in it, because it's the first time I'd ever heard Frankfurt used in a book at all, period, actually. So I could never remember the book, and then the movie came out, and I was so fucking ecstatic. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites, and my mom bought me this a couple Christmases ago. Next to that, we have a Tangled sticker book, Skyrim game guides, Skyrim art book, some old game guides like Dark Cloud 2, Final Fantasy X-2, some Pokemon, another how to draw manga, and these are all my Gaga books, and some Gaga magazines, like her Vanity Fair spread from 2010, which is one of my favorites. So, we'll move on down to the bottom shelf here, which is an absolute mess. Let me put some stuff back. So, moving on down to the bottom shelves. Sorry for the lighting, like I said, it's not good in here. We have more novels. We have, like, the Harry Potter series, which my mom, when she sent my books back to me, sent me 2 copies of the 3rd book, no copies of the 8th book. And then for the Twilight series, which, yes, she sent me, sorry about that, she sent me the first 2 books, one in hardback, one in paperback, and then the 2nd book, when I know I had all of the books in hardback, so I don't know what she sent me. And then, of course, I have the Percy Jackson series, and then a couple one from his 2nd Roman-themed series. I just sort of fell out after that. And then I have a big children's book on Greek myths that my friend got me from a Ren Fair. In front of that, we have some video games that I've kept in cases. First 2 Kingdom Hearts Special Edition, Dark Cloud 2, Sims, a Lady Gaga DVD, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Some Pokemon stuff, some Pokemon games, Animal Crossing, some blank CDs, a CD case. This is all just junk that I don't really need to go over. And down at the bottom here, we have all of my sketchbooks, old and new. These binders are full of loose art from old loose art, except for this one. This one's full Pokemon cards, and some more Lady Gaga magazines down here. Up there, and up here we have my asexual pride flag that I haven't found a space for in my room yet. So that is the first shelf of goodies. So moving on from the shelf, we have a couple of posters up here. We have a big poster that my brother bought when we went to see The Killers together a lot of years ago, and then we have another print from a local con, if my phone will focus here. Again, I don't remember the artist. If you know, let me know in the comments. Down here we have my TV, my PlayStation. Oh, that's not my PlayStation 3. I have a different one, but it crapped out. So I have this one, then I have the Roku, which I use to watch TV, and over here is my closet, which we won't go in. There's no need to. And then we have this secondary shelf over here. So, starting on this shelf, you can't see because of the glare, but we'll start around here. We have a flag from the Kingdom of Corona, which I got at Disney on Ice from Tangled. Above that, we have my Disney World ears that have my name on the back. Up at the tippy top, we have some of my favorite dolls. We have Gulliapi. She's just really big. Behind her, you can't see because of the glare. Hold on. And there we go. We have the first release of the Disney designer dolls for Rapunzel. In front of her is my Lady Gaga doll, released by Monster High. Rapunzel's wedding special edition doll, and then we have a one of my favorite Rochelle's from Monster High, which was her circus look. On the next shelf, let me turn my light back on here so y'all can get a good look. Super profesh, I know. And we'll close the bathroom door because y'all don't need to see what's in there. On the first little shelf, we have all of my amiibos, some Shopkins, Diva Funko Pop, La Muerte Funko Pop from Book of Life, a little more Shopkins over here. We've just got a bunch of miscellaneous crap. Optimus Prime back there. The pony with the mustache. Barbara Groomsby is his name. A Drifloon plush I made and a Loki plush I bought. That's prelude to a kiss right there. On the second shelf here, we have a lot of my Sailor Moon collection. I mostly collect just her. So you can see I've got all of her SH figure arts, her regular version, her super version, and her crystal version, along with Black Lady, who's my favorite, this cute little sitting figure, and of course Funko Pops and Petite Chara Sailor Moon here. I have my signed Starbomb album here with the little pin they gave for the late release of the physical copies. Back here we have a stuffed TARDIS that used to make sounds, and on top of there a little Mjolnir, and behind Sailor Moon we have a Funko Pop of a Big Daddy from BioShock. Moving on, if you guys didn't know, I stand Loki pretty fucking hard. Back here we have the Disney Infinity figures of Thor and Loki, and under that there's more little figures of the two of them. A little Loki Funko Pop keychain. Up here we have more Sailor Moon, little keychains. Next to that we have little Thor and Loki stuffies. A big Loki figure, lots and lots of Loki here. This is where I keep all that tucked away. And behind that is another grail in my collection. This is a figure of Charlie from the TV show Lost, which I absolutely adore. And Charlie was my favorite, and I was so happy to get this. Moving on down, we have what I call the Tangled shelf. So this is where I keep all of my Tangled stuff. So I have, in the back, if you can see because of the glare, we have Rapunzel, Eugene, and Gothel, the original dolls from the Disney store. I have the art book, and a couple of fun bags, the journal from the animated show. I have a cup that I got at Disney on Ice, a journal to go with the designer doll, another figure from Disney on Ice, a card I got for my 21st birthday because she was on it, but they only had 4. One of the original dolls they released in Walmart that's a Mattel doll, which they don't make the dolls anymore. Some little figures, Disney Infinity, a ornament, the Funko Pop, and one from a cake, which was again on my 21st birthday. I had the little Tsum Tsums of Maximus and Pascal, and of course Flynn and Rapunzel. And the main centerpiece here is just one of the toys they released. The boat is supposed to rock when you push it, but it doesn't. Below that, in this darker area here, we have what's left of my Monster High collection. I used to have, there's more on the shelf below, but we're getting into that. I used to have a lot more Monster High dolls, but with all my moving and just growing out of collecting them, I've thinned it down. So here are the girls I have up here. These are probably my favorite of the favorites. So lots of Rochelle and Gulia, who are my 2 favorite. Down below, we have a lot of miscellaneous things. I've got a Dr. Funko Pop my brother got me, a Bruce Banner Mystery Mini, which I was looking for Loki, but I ended up with Bruce, so he stays there. Some Blizzard Cute But Deadlies, some Monster High figures, more Blizzard Cute But Deadlies, a stuffed cat that looks like my deceased cat. His name was Colin, so I had to get that, and then a little Lycanroc figure down there, and in the middle, a cow Beanie Baby. On the very, very bottom shelf, you can't really see because the lighting is like super bad here, but more Monster High dolls. This doll here, my friend Chandler made for me. She normally has a bow, but it's Barbie dressed in Sailor Moon outfit made of duct tape. 2 of the curvy Barbie dolls, which I love, and of course a picture of my mother and I at graduation, along with some photos from that as well. And next to everything, I have a big a big plastic costume Mjolnir that I keep there. Moving on, we have my laundry hamper. That's the door to my bathroom. Nobody wants to see in there. Next, we're going to go over my bed and what's next to it. So, here I have my bedside table. I have a dehumidifier. I have gross things that I keep on my table. And I have my actual bed. Why isn't it made? Fuck it, that's why. I sleep with a bunch of pillows. And then that is a stuffed Cthulhu that my brother gave me before I moved away. It's very special to me because my brother is very special to me. Above my bed, above my bedside table, we have what I like to call the fan art board. So anytime somebody has done fan art of me, I printed it out and hung it on this board right next to my bed. I love every single piece. Below that, we have some gift art from Adri Scribbles that I framed. She drew my characters, Beth and Gamora, which are my little demon lesbians. And of course, she gave me a very special Mercy print that she drew herself, and the wings sparkle and stuff. It's amazing, and my favorite skin. If you guys haven't noticed, I love Mercy. Moving on, next to that, we have a giant wall scroll of Sailor Moon that I've had for fucking ever. It hangs right above my bed. And over here, we have more prints. Let me get on the bed here so I can show y'all. So these 2 were commissioned pieces. This one is from Airfix. They're both of Maya. This is from Airfix Dracona. You can watch her on YouTube, obviously. And this is from Zinthel on Twitter. I love her work, and I was so happy when I could commission her. The Mercy piece is from a friend. I don't know where he got it. I don't know the artist. I wish I could credit them. I have a massive poster for when I had to see Welcome to Night Vale live in my hometown. Not my hometown, in town. And the next one to that is another Sailor Moon print by my friend Tara. She goes by Shadow Fane, F-A-N-E, not here on YouTube, on Tumblr. Above that, we have a poster from the Sailor Moon R movie. And above that, we have a Mercy print by Skirts on Twitter. I love that picture so much that I, it was on Instagram, she posted it. I was like, can I get a print of this? And she's like, hell yeah, you can. That'll be like $20 or some shit. And she printed it for me and sent it to me way before she decided to actually release it as a print. So, that is a look around my bedroom. There's the fan I left out of every shot conveniently because it's hot in here. If you like what you see, don't forget to click that like button. You can subscribe. Whew, I'm out of breath. And you can leave a comment down below if you want to know where I got anything or have questions about anything. Definitely let me know. Thanks so much to my patrons over on Patreon, Adri Scribbles and Parzival. You guys are the best. And thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.